I'm Gabby Lamb.
And I'm Harper-Rose Drummond.
And you're listening to Tea Time, where we talk about the nastiest, dirtiest,
naughtiest, wildest secrets.
Enjoy.
Hi, guys.
Honk is sick. Haha. And I'm still a little bit sick. And here we are. Welcome back to another episode of Tea Time.
Yeah. Did Lee get us sick, or did you find something out on one of your many adventures and bring it to us? We don't really know.
We don't know. I have been sick now for about 2 weeks, I would say.
Yeah.
It's lingering, but I've been pushing through because I'm a fucking soldier. I have been on the road. I have been doing
Did anyone else
shows.
just get really bored? That's kind of crazy. I just got so bored.
Just Central California.
Yeah, I feel like we talked about that. But
sold out theaters.
Something tells me
every night.
Something tells me there's something interesting to talk about.
Some nights people will come up to me.
I wonder what it could be. I wonder what it could be.
The show will end with Felipe. You know, he does great. Blah blah blah. Everybody's like, yeah. Felipe,
oh
Felipe.
Yeah.
People will come up to me sometimes and they'll say, "You should have been the headliner." And I say, I don't know.
And that usually is like a person on the side of the street, like selling hot dogs.
You wish it was. I mean, these are real people who see me and they go, honestly, you should have been the headliner.
They're actually your Sims characters.
Here's the thing. October 26th, I will be headlining American Comedy Company in San Diego. Tickets are free. So reserve them. Because I don't sell tickets, so go get them for free.
Okay, cute.
Yeah.
If you guys feel like taking a road trip to fucking upstate Wisconsin, Merrill and Eagle River, whatever camera I'm looking at, Merrill and motherfucking Eagle River every year. And every year people go, why the fuck are you going?
Merrill and Eagle River?
Yeah, there's two towns. I'm saying two towns in Wisconsin. Merrill, comma, or I guess there wouldn't be a comma there. Merrill and Eagle River. There's two like silly, goofy ass shows, and I love them. But I do them every year in Wisconsin, and they're really fucking fun.
So if you're a Wisconsin head like Jeffrey Dahmer, you can go see Big Honk.
Who was the? Okay, so many serial killers come out of Wisconsin. Who was that one? There was that whole Netflix fucking thing. Steven? What was his name?
No, there's no serial killer named Steven. There's John Wayne Gacy.
No, John Wayne Gacy. Okay, he wasn't a serial killer, but he was that murderer. Remember, everyone was fucking talking about this. Let me look it up because Lee's fucking fingering the fan right now.
The Jeff Dahmer shit's really difficult to watch. Lee, have you been watching it?
Yeah, I watched the whole season.
Of course you fucking did. With a boner
Avery.
the whole time.
Stephen Avery is who I was thinking of.
I don't know who that is.
Who served 18 years in prison after his wrongful conviction for the sexual assault and attempted murder of Penny Bernstein.
No, not that
but here's
bad.
the thing.
That's not serial.
Was it? I know. No, I already corrected myself. But they had like the cops had done like a ton of foul play in it. But yeah, what the fuck were you just talking about? Not John Wayne Gacy. Who the fuck were you just talking
Jeffrey
about?
Dahmer.
Jeffrey Dahmer. So many fucking murders. Apparently the victims were saying that they weren't consulted at all in making this project. And then one of the women of the one of the siblings of the victims, they copied her her testimony.
Outfit. Oh yeah.
And her exact outfit, hair, and her speech for her testimony. And she was just like, that was a really like hideous way.
Really?
Yeah. And she was just like, it made me relive that all over again. Also, apparently Jeffrey Dahmer's dad is the only one that gets to profit off of it. Like none of the victims'
Are you
families,
fucking serious?
which I think is really fucking bizarre.
All of the money should go to the families.
Oh my God, of course.
There's been a lot. I've been seeing a lot of people being like, this shouldn't have been made or whatever.
It is. Okay. So in the last 20 years, I believe this is the 6th series / movie like made about Jeffrey Dahmer.
We're obsessed. We're obsessed.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know. The United States, we're obsessed with serial killers.
Yeah.
It's funny because it's like when I saw that the show was coming out, I was like, how many fucking shows are we going to do on these guys? How many shows about Ted Bundy, about Jeffrey Dahmer, about John Wayne Gacy, about all of them? How many? We get it. They were horrific.
It's kind of like when you show the school shooters on the news because it kind of like glorifies it in a way. It is fascinating.
It's especially, I don't know, Jeff was so evil. And it's like this fascination that we have with like, how can somebody be so fucking dark?
Yeah.
There's already another thing. So they're already it just announced confession tapes.
What do you mean?
What
No.
Netflix is doing is they're doing this monster series, which is that's what this series is like a part of, is like monster. You know,
So it's like different. It's going to be about different serial killers.
yeah. I think there's already one out, and then this one's about Dahmer, and there's one about like they're just doing a series
Does
on
Evan
different
Peters play every single one of them?
No, and then
Dude, someone needs to get him a happy role.
and then
Poor guy.
they have this series called confession tapes.
Guys, there's so many of these already done. There's so many confession tapes
So
already done.
So this is part of that series.
Oh God, how many do we need to see? It's just we get it.
Yeah, you kind of have to.
We get it.
I don't. Yeah, you have to kind of at a certain point cut your own self off, because I don't know how good it is for even like like you were saying the other day, like because you and I will usually binge shows, but you were like, oh, I can't even stomach this, because it's not just like the murder, it's not just the cannibalism, but it's also like the underage boys, it's murder, it's alcoholism, it's like there's so much dark.
It's neglect as a child, it's child abuse. It's
yeah.
It's also, I don't know. It was when they started showing him like the actors like as little Jeff. It was little Jeff. That I don't know. That got me really upset. Just because it's like you just I don't know, something about bringing like the kid into it, the kid who then becomes the monster. It's just this like grotesque kind of thing of like this like of innocence turned just pure evil, and as a result of like neglect, abuse, probably already had he was like predisposed to mental disorders. Then he had some like that surgery that kind of fucked his brain up. It's just all
When his mother was on all the pills.
No, the surgery. I thought he only had a surgery for a hernia.
But there was something about the anesthesia. Like they did too much anesthesia or something.
Yeah, he had brain damage from
brain
the
damage.
anesthesia.
Yeah, that's right. And then, but yeah, he was always into like taxidermy and whatnot. And I was watching.
Okay, so animal stuff. I can't. I
know.
When it comes
oh my
to,
god,
like,
there was
killing
this
animals.
boy in my neighborhood growing up.
I can't do it.
I don't even know if I should. Okay, no, I'll say.
No,
it. Okay.
I can't.
He was I'm not going to share like what exactly he would do, but there was this kid in my neighborhood growing up. He like moved there like halfway through my time of growing up when I was in North Carolina, and this boy, he just had when you look in someone's eyes and it's just like there's just nothing really there. He had very like ghost like so you anytime he tells a story you and so you and so and Gabby, so like when you look in the mirror, this is what I'm talking about. So
you.
When you look in the mirror, it's just like empty, nothing. So this guy though, he moved in and everyone thought he was really weird, but like my mom was like, oh, be nice. I'm like, okay. And so we would hang out with him for a little bit, but I'm like, oh, I can't fucking do this. And then he started like, he would like wait in my fucking trampoline in my backyard sometimes. I'm like, I don't know about that. And he also would like pick apart like little bugs and stuff.
What happened to him? Do you know?
I have no idea. His dad was so sweet. His dad was so fucking sweet. And this guy was just weird and like kind of smelly. Why do they always smell?
It's interesting because it's like I was thinking about this the other day. I was talking about this actually with Matt, and how like Jeff had this fetish for, I guess it's like for seeing like organs.
Yeah. And blood.
Like blood. Yeah. Like clean organs.
Yeah.
And there's something about that that's like sexually related to like women, and he said there's some kind of tie about like women getting wet, and that has something to do with like that same like turning on like of the thing with like seeing like wet organs,
like sensory.
Yeah, it's all kind of like it's all weirdly in the same area of the brain. It's just so fucked up because it's like it's as if being born gay or attracted to a certain type of whatever. It's like people are kind of just also born with these weird.
Well, that's what he was saying. He like, okay, so after, because I didn't finish the series, but I started watching like some like real interviews with him because it is fascinating and it is so eerie how, because like I think our brains just try and understand like, oh, how can someone do, or like why, how?
We're trying to figure it out.
And he was like, I've had these, he calls them compulsions. He's like, I've had these compulsions since I was a child. Like I've always wanted to do this.
Yeah.
So fucking crazy.
It's that whole thing of, are you born that way, or is it a mixture of being born with your brain like kind of already like predisposed to this stuff, and then also your environment. It's kind of a nature versus nurture thing. And
Well, I wonder, okay, and I'm not trying to be offensive here. I really am not, but okay, maybe prefacing it with that is bad, but like, okay, so you know how some people have severe OCD and they're like, okay, if I don't wash my hands 50 times, my mom's gonna die.
Yeah.
Like, I wonder, when he was calling it compulsions, I wondered if he just had some severe fucked up thing of like OCD. Obviously, he knows what he's doing. Like, he admits, he's like, I knew what I was doing. I was fully in control. I was pure evil. Like, there's no one else to blame but me. Like, he was.
To me, it sounded like an addiction, and it sounded like the compulsion. Like he went into like a flow state where he just
What's flow state?
like
almost like a
meditative state. Yeah, like where you've done it so many times that like it's a habit.
Oh, okay.
Yes, that makes a lot of sense, and it's also I'm sure it's obviously an addiction.
Yeah. I think it became one.
Yeah.
And in the show, he says, and I think that they pulled dialogue from some of these confession tapes that are going to come out.
Yeah.
Where he's like,
they tried to make it extremely
he's
accurate,
like, I started to just get away with it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I just started to realize I wasn't going to get caught.
Well, it's so crazy. Like, how is he doing this in an apartment complex? That's like you doing it here, which you probably do. And his neighbors being like, you're fucking.
But his neighbors knowing the whole time.
No, his neighbors, he got away with it because he was a fucking white guy.
Yeah.
And he used his fucking, I mean, yeah,
In
he
the
did.
80s.
He literally was just, when everyone on Twitter was having the funniest.
Meat in my
he's
fridge
like,
went bad.
My tropical fish. And then like whenever the office, because he also, that's the thing. It's like someone was saying, they're like, he didn't escape run-ins with the law, or he didn't escape getting arrested because he was like this genius and he was so creative. He just got away with it because he was white. And then whenever the cops would be like, hey, what's going on? He's like, oh, I'm just on some gay shit. And they're like, oh, never mind. And then they would back
us gays, we're just,
he's like, oh no, that's some queer shit happening in the back. And they're like, oh, never mind. Meanwhile, it's like rotting flesh. They're like, I guess that's just how the gays do it.
Yeah. Guess the guy just likes some pork chops and he's gay.
And
what are you gonna do?
I mean, God, and that's also another thing that is so maddening. Like, I don't know if she's still alive, and if she's not, then like, her family should get it. But like his apartment either manager or his neighbor who like was calling the cops on him and who clearly knew what the fuck was going on for like, for so long, and then the cops just kept being like, it's all good, it's all fine.
Where the fucked me up is the end of the second episode when they play the actual phone call between like the 911 dispatcher and the woman, and she's like, there was a child in his place. And they're like, no, he was 19. And she's like, that looked like a child. And they're like, no, 19. And she's like, did you see his ID? And they're like, no, but he said he was 19.
They're like, no, ma'am, like we got it all under control.
It's a boyfriend thing.
It's a boyfriend. You wouldn't understand. She's like, yeah, but it was a child.
Gay men just look younger than the straights. It's like, no, that's absolutely not.
Oh, there were so many wrong things. Okay, anyway, sorry to go on.
I thought the series was really good.
I want to go home and watch it, but it's just a lot.
And when in a later episode, they really kind of highlight her experience.
Is she still alive?
I don't know if she's still alive. I can look it up.
So this is an interesting thing. So it's like, on one hand, it's like this, it's all public knowledge. So on one hand, it's like, okay, great, you can make it. But on the other hand, like, where does like the morality come in when like all like the victims' families are like, we don't want this to be made, and then the same with Pam and Tommy, like that series, and you and I ate that shit.
But we're all watching it.
But Pamela Anderson was like, I did not want this to be made, and so like that is really fucking heartbreaking. So it's like, at what point can you justify making art for telling a story, but then also when you're causing so much harm,
right? And then for us for indulging in it, and we fully knowing this information, knowing that it's doing these people harm, that it's doing the victims' families harm, and we're on, then we go home and we're like, let's watch the Jeffrey Dahmer show. It's like, but then to me, because I've been thinking about this a lot, and I'm like, but like it was made, like it was already made. It's fucking streaming. Everybody's talking about it. Like, yeah, I want to fucking watch it. What is me not watching it gonna do for the victim's family? Or like, I don't know. Am I looking at it the wrong way?
Oh, it blew up because of like podcasts, and they're just trying to like Netflix is just trying to like struggle to get some viewers back.
Yeah, and that's also what's fucked up is that like the whole
and so they're going edgy with
so
it.
Capitalist. It's all capitalism, which is really fucked up.
Well,
it's
also that's
all
why
about
they
making
keep
money.
that's also why you see so many repeats and like I
yeah.
mean, maybe this is my bias because I find these movies annoying, but I think that's also why you get 17 million fucking Marvel movies and all these other and like all these
Right.
fucking remakes, and there's so many new original amazing scripts out there, but they aren't being
Right.
made because we live in a capitalistic pig fuck society
Yeah.
where they're like, oh well, this made money, so we'll just do it again.
Let's just jam another show about Jeffrey Dahmer down the Americans' fucking throats.
Spider-Man 16, get ready. And you're
Yeah.
like, oh my God.
Where he
Can we see
Spider-Man
something?
16, where he fucks a spider. Now that one I would watch.
So Glenda
Truly.
Cleveland was his neighbor, and she has passed. She passed in 2010
Okay.
from natural causes.
Oh, that's sad.
It's crazy. Like
Young though, she was 56.
Dahmer,
She's
Dahmer was like our
dealt with
parents'
a lot.
age. I think he was a little bit younger than my dad.
Oh, wow.
Fuck, dude. Is Dahmer's dad still alive?
I believe so. Unless,
And he has a
'cause I read-
brother too. What about his mom?
Oh, yeah, he does have a brother. Yeah, I don't know.
Dude, his
Okay, Lee, not
family.
your font being big as the font on like a jitterbug phone.
Well, it's so that you can read it when I move it up.
No, it's not. It's because
Oh,
you're
okay.
800 years old. I wonder
It
how
looks like he is still alive. He's 86 years old.
86.
Do they do anything about like how the dad dealt with it, how he is dealing with it?
If you get to it, you're not at the part yet. Like they kind of like touch on it at the show, and the show
Really?
did try and stay pretty accurate. But,
Yeah,
I mean, his dad knew that he was like a fucker.
his dad kind of has an episode. Like they kind of like give everybody an episode.
Yeah.
And kind of really show it from all perspectives.
Okay.
And also, okay,
It's
just like one
good.
more
I
thing.
thought
Sorry.
it was well done.
It's not that it's not well done. That's why it's so hard to watch, is because it is well done.
No, it's a little too well done.
Yeah,
And
it
Evan Peters
is.
was even like Evan Peters was like, I
Imagine
had to
playing that
go.
role.
But here's what I will say, because like it is, I think also the reason why it's such a sensitive show too is that Jeffrey wasn't just like killing and murdering like a bunch of random people. Like he's doing it specifically, predominantly to men of color, and to like
that was what he was attracted to.
right.
It wasn't because he like hated men of color.
No, but I mean,
Yeah.
it's still bad. But yeah,
That's not, yeah. But it's like he was attracted.
Yeah, you're like, actually, he was woke.
Yeah, no, it wasn't like he wasn't on some like Hitler shit. He was
No.
like attracted to black men and was like, oh, I gotta kill him. I'm so horny. Like that's how he.
Essentially, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know that Jesse Jackson got involved with the case when it happened.
Mhm.
Makes sense though, it was the early 90s,
Mhm.
and yeah, but I just didn't know
Always
that
the
whole
fucking
part of the
whites,
story.
dude.
Okay, you guys,
It's always
this
the
actually
whites.
was fucked up. You're gonna have some shit to fucking say, but okay, someone on TikTok was like, "Look at all of the serial killers' birth signs," and I was like, "Oh no, here we go." And it's like there's like one Sagittarius, and then it's all like Virgo, Pisces, Gemini, Pisces.
Really?
And I was like, okay,
Most of them are Pisces
So
and,
it's like
and
Pisces
Gemini.
and Virgo, yeah, and Gemini.
Not a single Leo. We could never.
Honey, I know. I
We
thought
can
that was
never-
like really interesting.
That makes sense. It does make
I
sense.
see. I knew you were gonna have some
And it does
fucking
make
bullshit to
sense.
say.
It does make sense.
Whatever.
All of my
honey.
most horrific exes are Geminis.
Really? Okay, you
I'll-
and fucking our friend.
Yeah, I always date Gemini.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've ever dated a
Horrible.
fucking Gemini. Okay,
Wait, what are you?
okay.
You're Cancer?
Cancer, yeah. I tend to date Taurus.
My Taurus ex died.
Well, here's the thing.
R.I.P.
I've dated a few Tauruses. I feel like, and you can say, "Oh, astrology is not real." Oh, go fuck yourself. Because here's the thing: if it's not real, then how come every fucking Taurus I date
Is
loves
ugly?
To okay, well loves to
Yeah.
loves to fucking sleep. I say they just fucking
Yeah.
no. Okay,
Yeah.
no, they are just little cuddle bugs. I'm like, get the fuck up. It is so
Or
annoying.
maybe you just date guys that are narcoleptic.
Maybe you're just drugging them.
She is.
Okay,
Or maybe
you
it's because
guys-
maybe it's
no.
because she is so boring that they're like,
Yeah, she has to.
no, I have too many personalities for them to be
what's-
bored.
What's the one where she locks him in the cabin and breaks his legs?
What?
Oh, with yeah.
Kathy
Yes,
Bates.
Kathy Bates. Misery.
Misery. She miseries these guys.
Honk is Kathy Bates in Misery.
Yeah.
Write another book.
Oh my god.
That's what it was, right?
Yeah. She wanted to
Write
books.
another book. Literally something you would do.
Don't make me. Okay, honestly.
Oh, that's a good movie. I haven't seen
That's
that
a
since I
great
was little.
fucking movie.
You've never seen it.
No, yes, I fucking
You've
have. Now,
literally
here's
never
the
seen
thing.
it. She's
I
never
don't
seen
even
it.
think I've seen it. I just know the reference.
Here's the thing. You've
She's
never
never
fucking
seen
seen
it.
it. All
She's
you do is
literally
watch
never seen it.
Jackass and fucking read fucking
Yeah. What do I read?
Verity, one fucking word at a time. Because you've had
Verity
my
is good.
book
Verity is
for
good.
fucking a million years. I mean,
Yeah.
when I was in your room yesterday, I literally almost stole the Song of Achilles back from you.
No,
but
because I'm gonna get to it. I gotta finish Verity
bitch,
first.
when?
Next year.
Do you finish books?
It takes me a very long time.
A
Now. I
very long
used to
time.
rip on through them, but these days it's taken a while. I got too
Right.
much TikTok to watch. I got too many hillbillies on TikTok to watch.
God, well, here's the
Hillbilly
thing.
weddings. I'm on hillbilly wedding talk right now. Yeehaw!
I swear to God, my FYP got so much better the second I stopped opening both of y'all's bullshit that y'all send me. Because it can't be good for your mental health.
Not
to-
good for your mental health.
It's not good to always, and hey, love and light to if you're marrying your fucking cousin and like procreating and all that. The
Yeah.
only incest I want to fucking see is on like Game of Thrones dragon show. I'm not trying to fucking see it on my fucking TikTok.
Now here's something I learned.
No.
Hentai is the top searched thing in porn.
Yeah, top search porn
Not
category.
Lee lighting up
I
like
know.
a damn tree. Just yeah.
Have you actually ever looked up hentai?
No.
You're so lying. You're so lying. That's crazy that it's like the top search thing.
I would
Maybe
suspect
once.
something. Yeah.
Wyoming
Don't.
Wyoming is the highest porn consuming state. The other thing that's the most searched right now is big ass. Big ass and hentai are the biggest searched words right now in porn.
Okay, fuck it up.
And I guess Denver and California have not Denver, Colorado and California have the lowest porn consumption.
Well, that's because there's so much to fucking do.
So much to fucking
There's
do. And everybody's hot.
So much to do
Yeah.
in Colorado and in California. There's so much to do.
Yeah, right. And plus, everybody in California is basically hot, except for like some people that I grew up with. But like, other than that, everybody's hot. A
Yeah.
lot of people to go fuck,
A lot of people to go fuck.
except for everybody that I went to high school with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. There was this girl talking. Where the fuck was it? I need to start fucking like taking screenshots of these like little fun things because I just fucking forget. But she was talking about how recently, and she was a sex worker for like she started in porn and then switched to OnlyFans and then now she's out. I wish I could fucking remember her name, but she was talking about how she finds it really hard right now to support the industry because she's like, on one hand, I made all of my livelihood and I got enough money to start my own business. Like she has like 3 cars, like she's doing real well, but she was like, on one hand, it helped me get to where I am. And so like, I'm very grateful for that. And like, I did have fun doing it. But on the other, I understand like how disruptive it is when people get addicted to it. She's like, and then I feel guilty that I'm contributing.
Right.
And then she's like, and it does create intimacy issues and it does like deteriorate your fucking mind. And then like when kids start
Big
watching
time.
it and like Billie Eilish was just talking about how she started watching like violent porn at like 11.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, Billy, it shows because you look at her and you're like, there's something happened to her.
Something did happen to her.
And it was violent
and
porn.
she watched a woman get cummed on and hit with a crowbar and you go,
that's what inspired Ocean Eyes.
Yeah, you don't get fucking Ocean Eyes from like playing in the yard and catching caterpillars, bitch.
No.
You get Ocean Eyes when you're fucking watching someone that looks like your mom getting splattered with some fucking stinky cum. And then just fucking rock 'em, sock 'em. Just fucking knocked
Well,
down.
Bad Guy was all about rough sex.
Yeah, look at Billie Eilish, the fucking.
But she's like saying that she doesn't watch it at all anymore. And there was like
She
a
got
few
fucking big tits, Billie Eilish. That's a big titted bitch.
Okay, my whole
Jesus Christ.
Fucking whoppers.
So 18
my
years old.
Reels feed
No, she's legal now.
went from
You are a
all
predator.
Miley Cyrus. It was like all Miley Cyrus concert clips. Now it's all Billie Eilish concert clips.
No, we got to keep you away from
I
her.
don't know why.
You do know why.
Yeah.
Ew, the heavy breathing.
Yeah.
Ew.
Why?
All right, let's get to the fucking story.
Okay.
Why
Well,
it's all
okay.
Billie
So you
Eilish.
guys, this is a cute episode. Well, actually, maybe it'll probably be kind of sad, but whatever. You guys can handle it. So the theme is medically misdiagnosed stories.
Fun.
Have you guys ever been misdiagnosed?
I guess yes. pussy too good, pussy too bomb. Honestly, that's a big one for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
got diagnosed with your pussy was too bomb.
She got,
And it's-
so yeah,
and it's
so she
actually
didn't
whack.
understand how to make that joke. So unfortunately, she just said that she got diagnosed with a super good pussy, but
Yeah,
unfortunately,
but
she has a
No.
stinky
Whack.
egg.
No.
No.
The whole thing. No, let me explain.
No.
The whole thing forever was like this girl. Like, what's wrong with this girl? Like, there's something wrong with her. And then I finally got my pussy checked out, and they're like, oh, there's nothing wrong with her. It's just that her pussy's too good, and that's why we're confused by her.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Pussy too good.
yeah, that was good. That was a good save.
I got the diagnosis at Cedars-Sinai. That's one of the best hospitals I'd say in the world.
Good puss.
Great puss. Yeah. So I have that, and then
That
also
was like, I know you were trying to do like a character, but
Good puss.
don't Lee.
good puss.
Good purse. That's like you just. Oh God.
So yeah, Cedars-Sinai here over in Beverly Hills. I was born there. So rich, just famous people were born there all the time. It's crazy. And I got big pussy. I got diagnosed with good pussy there.
So you got misdiagnosed with a good pussy. Don't
No,
worry.
not
Yeah.
misdiagnosed. I got diagnosed.
Yeah, you can get loud all you want, honey. But
And
here's the
then-
thing: I want you to get help. That's what I
And
want
then
you to get.
my whole life, I was just recently diagnosed mentally retarded. So we have
Yeah,
that
no,
too.
that's the correct diagnosis. No, that's ding, 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 ding,
See, at
ding.
first they were like, "Why is this girl mentally retarded? We don't know." And then they find out, oh,
No,
it's
because
because she has great
they said,
pussy.
here's your. They're like, okay,
Right.
there's something. Here's your good pussy, and then you go get
Yeah,
checked in
yeah.
again. They go, that's not a good pussy. That's a bad brain. And you go, okay, well, here you go. And
No.
you know what?
Yeah.
That's just kind of how doctors do it sometimes.
Here's what I am waiting on. I am waiting for the doctor because I have a hemorrhoid. I guess it's supposedly it's a hemorrhoid.
Wait, are you
I
being
think
serious?
it's something else. I think it's something else, and the doctor's like, "Nah, it's a hemorrhoid." I'm like,
Wait,
I have a feeling this is going to be some like kind of asshole cancer, but the doctor.
are you being serious?
No, I swear to God, I'm
Look
being
me in the
serious.
eyes right now and tell me you're being serious.
I'll show you my hemorrhoid, and not in front of Lee because he'll do something weird. But
No,
I'll
but
show
remember
it to you.
in 2020, I'm sorry, we can cut this out if you don't want this to be
You
shared.
keep
Okay,
it.
in
I'm
2020,
not scared.
in 2020, I forget what maybe it was a hemorrhoid or something, but remember you had Joy and I check your asshole?
Oh yeah, that's been there for a long time. Yeah.
Even with the preparation H and shit?
Oh yeah, she's not going away. She's big.
We can take this out if you don't want it in
No,
here. but-
keep it in. I said I'm not scared. I'm not scared.
Well, I don't really know what that sentence was, but what I do know to be true
So here's
is
the
that
thing.
I would be scared.
Well, I think because I'm like, don't they go away? But the doctor was like, no, this one's just like scarred, and I'm like, I feel like this
Well,
is
I
gonna
heard
be
hemorrhoids, once they get to a certain point, they don't go away.
Well,
But
then
you
this
can't
one,
get them surgically removed.
That's
but
what she said.
insurance might not cover it, and they might treat it as like a cosmetic procedure.
I
But it's
just
like, if you got some lumps on the butt.
Cosmetic procedure. The thing is, I don't really want to go into surgery for my asshole, but I should.
It would be kind of
probably-
funny though. The content would be fucking fire.
See,
And-
and then you say that,
that's a
and
mental
immediately,
illness.
immediately my ears perk up. I say that would be good for content. So yeah, you know what? I actually will call the doctor today, as soon as we're out here, and say, "Do you guys think you could give me a little snip in my anus?
Could you tighten it up a bit?
Tighten it up, make it real nice and tight."
Mhm.
a little perky snout.
So we're waiting. We're waiting on that diagnosis.
Okay, we love that.
What about you?
Let's see. Mine is okay, so I have epilepsy. We hate to see it. But when I was trying to figure out what it was, they couldn't figure it out, and I was fainting all the
Brain
time.
tumor.
Okay. And so, anyway, so I was fainting all the time. This is around like 2021. I'm like fainting, in and out of the hospital. They think there's something wrong with my heart. So I have to wear a heart monitor. And then they're like, oh, we probably need to give you heart surgery because, you keep having all these fainting spells. And I'm like, oh, that's pretty intense. And then I go to another doctor. And I've been seeing like many, many doctors. And finally I go to another doctor after a fainting spell. And I have a concussion because I fell. And he was like, oh, there's nothing wrong with your heart. You have epilepsy. And I was just like, what? And then I was told that it was a little bit more severe than it was, I believe. I think that's what it was. But anyways, I had to go to this doctor, and he would always say that he has to give me stress tests. And for when you have epilepsy, you have to get these things called stress tests that just like test like how sensitive you are on either side because you get nerve damage after every seizure. And I've lost a lot of the feeling on my left side of my
Clit.
what?
Clit.
And so, anyways, he would go.
Let that one completely airball.
That was really I just want to say such a beautiful moment because it was funny, but I just had to torture you a little bit. And Leah, I'm proud of you for holding it in too. I feel like we just like had like a secret soft alliance there, and that was really fucking fun and important that we did that to her. But
not all of us trying not to laugh. Okay.
But okay, so anyways, and then I would go to this doctor and he never wanted my mom in the room. But, you know, that's on codependency. But anyway, so I would always have my mom in the room and he was like such a fucking creep. And he would give me these stress tests and like, you know, I'm new to having epilepsy. I don't fucking know what the deal is. And so he would say that he has to do this every single time. This wasn't necessarily a misdiagnosis, but it was just like a mishandling of my diagnosis. And he would like massage me and like he would like feel me up and it was very disgusting. And he would always say like really awful things. And then one time I made
clit too big.
Yeah, well, and then he was like eating me out and he was like, and then he was like, now this pussy's too good. And my mom's like, I did that. And I'm like, can you please leave actually? Never mind.
That's
He was
crazy.
right.
He was right.
Yeah, and I was like, oh my God, no.
That's crazy that happened.
But anyways, then I started going to
was
a
it at Cedar
different...
Sinai?
Okay, you're talking again. I don't know if you realize that. But so then anyways, I go,
hospital.
okay, something smells bad. And so...
It's a great hospital.
Okay, hey, no more. And so then anyways, I go to a new doctor. Ew, literally ew. And then I go to a new doctor and she gives me a stress test and it was literally just her like tapping on my limbs and that was it. And I was just like, wait, don't you need to, massage me?
Finger me?
And then she like looked at me. She was like, who did that to you? And then I started crying because I was like, oh, I was getting assaulted and I didn't know it. So anyways, let's get into the stories.
Yeah, it's giving the UCLA guy, the ballerina guy.
The
Olympic gymnastics guy.
You know, this guy, honestly, he was such a fucking disgusting fuck. And he was also so mean.
Hold on.
And he wouldn't listen to me either.
Well, yeah, I get that.
Because you were dating.
Because you can be a little.
Because you were dating.
Because she can be a little.
Yeah.
And this is why you get diagnosed with bad pussy. Okay. What?
Yeah, sorry, I'm just so turned on right now. Let me. All right, first.
Because I got eaten out by my fucking old ass doctor.
Yeah. All right. Bladder infection, aka cancer.
Oh.
Off to a hot start.
After we're talking about.
Hi, honk mothers. I want to preface this with stating I'm really lucky, all things considered. And to anyone going through cancer or is in remission, sending you love. Aw. Gonna try to make this as short as I can. At age at the time, 28. I started having weird cramps and thought maybe my IUD was loose. I know that's a common thing. I went to the doctor, all was well. A few weeks later, the cramping was unbearable. My sister took me to the closest ER. After 4 hours, they had me pee in a cup, came back to tell me I had a bladder infection and everything should be fine. They had me drink something there, didn't even give me a prescription, which I found a little odd, and sent me on the way. My blood is already boiling reading this. The doctor at this ER was a man, of course, who kind of fucked off everything I said and obviously didn't take me seriously. Hey, let's get rid of male doctors for women. 2 days later, I simply could not. I just knew something major was going on because my body had never felt like it did. My sister took me to a different ER a bit further away. Nicest nurses, nicest doctors, kisses to them all. Based on what I told them, they said it sounded like I had an ovarian torsion, where your ovary and fallopian tubes twist up. They gave me a CT scan to see what was going on and found a 12-centimeter tumor in my ovary. Bladder infection, my bitch ass boy. Oh, my bitch ass boy. Bladder infection, my ass, bitch boy. My bitch ass boy. My bladder infection's my ass, bitch boy. That's a funny sentence. So I got rushed into emergency surgery. Was told prior to the surgery I might lose my ovary. I did.
Wait,
so like
what?
we have 2 ovaries, right?
Yeah. So
okay, so she lost one of her ovaries. It took me a second. I was thinking it was an egg, and then I was like, you just lost one egg? No, okay, I get it now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, no, she lost an ovary. Fuck, that sucks. Routinely, they ran pathology on the tumor because I was living in bumfuck Humboldt County where healthcare is shit. My doctors weren't familiar with what I had. Hey, here's the thing. If you go to medical school for 10 fucking years, you should probably know these things.
I think you're being kind of harsh.
You know, this would not happen at Cedars. I don't know. I'm still confused, but I'm still confused about that, but consider it another weird blessing because they sent my tumor to San Francisco. Okay, she's traveling.
Yeah.
She's a traveling tumor.
She's catching flights.
She's catching flights.
Yeah.
She's cashing checks.
It's giving upper class.
It is.
Yeah.
She took a
It's giving jet setter.
It is giving jet setter.
Yeah.
Okay. San Francisco tumor.
Yeah, honey.
And now I have the nicest
Fuck
oncologist ever. Love her.
Oh my God. Some of my tissue just fell on the ground. Okay.
Okay, this isn't about you. Love her. Do routine checkups.
Wait, do you want to hear about it? It's really far. Here. I got it. Don't worry, Gabby.
What?
I got the piece of my tissue that fell.
Okay. So she is the nicest oncologist ever. Love her. Do routine checkups to make sure nothing has come back. Important to note, the pain was the ovarian torsion and unrelated to cancer. So it's like my body warned me and caused me pain so I would get it checked out. My cancer ended up getting caught so early that I didn't have to do any type of chemo or radiation of any sorts. Wow. If you live in Humboldt County, go to St. Joe's in Eureka, not Mad River in Arcata, LOL. Love the show. Love the lips. Love you.
Yay.
Don't be called Mad River. Don't go there.
Yeah.
So, okay, hold on. I'll review this. The pain was the ovarian torsion and unrelated to cancer. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So it was just this, like, it was a...
Yeah, her body. So she says that her body was just causing her pain so that she'd go check it out and like get the cancer.
That is wild. That is a blessing, dude. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking shame on these doctors. This is shit like this happens all of the time.
It really is it's so fucking maddening.
It's maddening.
How they don't fucking listen to you.
And how much we trust these people and we don't know anything and we're just like, hey, it's like the same with the vet where you're just like, please help me. I don't know what's going on. You know what's going on. You're the professional. And they're like, nah, fine.
Well, they're in such a position of power. And because, especially in this country, because healthcare is a fucking business, then like they're not really what?
Nightmare.
Oh yeah. They're just like, they're not incentivized to like actually help you. It's to, like and not all doctors obviously, but like a lot of them. And it's disgusting. It's so fun. Oh my God. So my dad works for a hospital now doing like, I guess you could say PR, I guess. But he used to work for this other healthcare company. And there was this huge like health convention that happens every year in the town he lives in. And like Bill Clinton came one time and I was like, okay. And, but then anyways, I met this woman at the health convention and she got a flesh-eating virus. She just went in for a teeny tiny little surgery. And all the doctor had to do was just wash his hands before like touching her. And the doctor didn't fucking wash his hands. And I believe her family member, someone was in the room and was like, oh, can you please wash your hands? And he was like, I know what I'm doing. I'm fine. Thank you. I'm a fucking doctor.
She got a flesh-eating thing?
And he had some, because you're touching so much, it's a fucking hospital.
Was he fucking fingering cadavers?
He was on his Dahmer shit. And so he fucking goes in and like does the procedure on her and then it's not healing. And what was supposed to be like a 3-day hospital stay turned into a 7-year hospital stay. And she was an actress and she was on soap operas and stuff. And she is like the most beautiful person I've ever met in my fucking life. She's incredible. And to like still have like this like bright, beautiful energy after her life was like taken away from her. And now she's permanently sick now. She has to have all of these medications every single day. She gets so tired. She can barely stand up.
Did she sue this hospital, this doctor?
Yeah, she did.
Okay, because it's literally giving 1400s. This is like the shit that they would do back then.
No, it's like some medieval shit. But this happens. So it's the thing he used to work for. It's coming to me. It's the patient safety movement. Yeah. You guys should look that up. It's a really, really, and if you or someone has been affected negatively by a doctor, look up the patient safety movement because they can help you.
It's fucking crazy.
But yeah, it is so fucking insane how just like being like because like think about it, like whenever you're at your fucking job, you're just kind of like, oh, like fuck this, whatever. No, but I'm saying like when you have a job, like you can just be kind of okay, Gabby, Jesus Christ. Anyway, so it's like it just can be like so fucking dangerous. Like when you're a fucking doctor, you don't get that fucking luxury of slacking off. You have to be fucking on. Or you're gonna fucking ruin someone's life.
Yeah, and I was thinking about yesterday about how vets and doctors have like the highest suicide rates of like any career.
Dentists,
doctors, and vets are like the number 3 like most suicidal, and then also
Dennis, what the fuck are they crying about?
come on, it's teeth. Because it's boring. Because you're boring.
Because people hate them.
Because you're smelling that stink ass breath.
That's why. Also, and how they and then, like the highest addiction rates. You know, like all
well,
these
you're because around all that. So
all these damn crackhead doctors running around.
Jesus.
All right, your turn.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right. So number one is it's suicidal professions: physician, pharmacist, real estate broker, veterinarian, lawyer, farmer, dentist, electrician.
Lawyer, we got to get Eli out. We gotta get him.
So you mean like all of the most essential jobs?
And this is why all these essential workers are starting to become just famous on TikTok because they don't want to do this shit anymore.
Because they're all fucking.
We gotta change the system.
Those are like the most jobs. You know, like you know what I mean. Like those are like the jobs that people need.
Yeah, that people actually rely on.
Yeah, we rely on all of those things. Yeah. Interesting. That's why we're all becoming. Yeah, it's literally why we're all becoming influencers.
Literally,
nobody wants to fucking.
There's this girl I follow because like I really love her content, but she like finished law school and everything, and she's like, yeah, I don't really think I'm gonna do it. It's like,
yeah,
but honestly, okay. Hi honks, I'm gonna try to make this more snappy since Gabby fell asleep when y'all read my vacation story submission. Yeah,
that's so mean.
Yeah, y'all, but yeah, you did, and you let it be known. You said you're boring me, sis.
I'm so sorry. Don't take it personal. My pussy's too good. I get distracted.
No, that was a misdiagnosis. I know I'm a long-winded ass bitch. Years ago, my then fiance was helping his friend with some yard work and got smacked on the inside of his knee with a sapling. Sapling?
Sapling.
What's a sapling?
A small tree. It's like a baby tree.
He got smacked on the inside of his knee.
He was
with a sapling.
He's just walking in the woods and like a little tiny baby tree hit him in the leg.
Ooh, okay.
Fuck. Okay. Well, it swelled up immediately, and he was limping around using one of our bar stools as a walker at our engagement party that night. He went to the ER, and nothing came up on an x-ray after he stormed out after waiting hours for the first time, and I had to convince him to go back weeks later. And he figured it would heal. Months later, it didn't, and he was still in severe pain. So he went to his primary care doctor, who sent him to physical therapy, where they told him he had a torn ACL and started a treatment program for it. That shit just hurt his knee more,
Whoa.
So he stopped going. His knee basically had a half a golf ball-sized bump on the inside of it, and every medical professional he saw just kept telling him he had a torn ACL. He was eventually able to convince a doctor and insurance to get an MRI to see what the hell was going on. The MRI showed a calcified ball.
Huh?
Ew. A calcified ball, and he was offered surgery to get it removed. He said, fuck no, and decided just to live with the chronic pain, which was baffling to me. But he didn't want to pay a shitload of money to just still have knee pain for the rest of his life.
Get it removed, my boy.
One day okay, honey, it's giving cheap. Okay, one day, and also word from the wise: if you're smart, then you already know you don't need to pay hospital bills. Okay,
if you have a calcified ball in your knee,
get that shit out of there.
Get it
out of there. Okay, this woman on TikTok was saying, if you go into the ER, just say that you're homeless, but don't go with kids, and say that because then they'll take the kids away. But anyways,
I got my tonsils out and didn't pay 1 penny of the bill.
Ooh, oh my God, I got mine out too.
I got an $800 which I know is a lot less compared to other people, but I got an $800 like ambulance fucking bill, and they drove me 1 block, and I was like,
are you serious?
And I never fucking paid that shit. I said, fuck you. Okay. One day at around the 2-year mark, the bump suddenly got soft and looked more like a blister. He put a hot compress on it, and after a bunch of he put a hot compress on it, and after a bunch of goo came out. And he saw what looked like the tip of a pencil in the center of the blister.
No.
He called me into the bathroom to record this ultimate moment of relief. And don't worry, there is a YouTube video.
Yes, I was going to say, is there a video?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. It turns out there was try not to come. Okay. Turns out there was a fucking twig in his...
Yes.
That just actually legitimately pissed me off. Turns out there was a fucking twig in his knee for 2 fucking years. Bitch. We had no idea this was even a possibility. because he
Oh?
didn't even know his knee was punctured to begin with. It just swelled shut somehow. No blood or anything the day he lost a fight with a sapling. Thank you for reading this. If you do, love the podcast and you'll crack me the fuck up every week. It is so awesome to not feel so alone in the complete absurdity of life. And I appreciate you all for making us laugh at the wildest situations.
Love you.
I literally almost just said your name because I was in the reading. Okay, you have such a pretty name. That's really cool.
Whoa, that's such a crazy story.
I know. God.
Whoa.
Okay.
What's
No,
the title
I
of the
don't-
video?
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, but also watch.
Ew.
It looked like a blackhead. Ha! That's awesome.
It's so long. It's so long. Oh my God. And he had that in for 2 years.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Holy shit.
No, that's some medieval shit. That's like pulling a fucking arrow out after
for
battle.
for audio listeners, it like looks like he's gonna go pop a pimple, and then a legit twig comes out.
A legit, like a pine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh my God.
like a large ass pine needle.
How the fuck did that just like launched into his knee and then just.
Yeah, from like banging against it. I mean, fuck.
But the fact that there wasn't like you couldn't see it or anything, it just like.
Now,
that was
here's the thing,
wild.
sweet girl. You really killed it on the story this time.
I
Last
didn't
story,
fall asleep.
you know, sent her ass to sleep. This time, you had us all fucking hooting and hollering.
You did.
So,
That was a good one. Oof.
congrats on the writing class. You've advanced. You get an A+ from
Yeah,
us.
and the video. I mean, come on.
I know.
You completed the assignment.
Congratulations, sweet girl. We love you.
That
Okay.
was multimedia.
Yeah. Okay. I'm impressed.
Oh, this one. So this is she needs advice. Oh, it's on Patreon. We'll read that on Patreon. We will come back to you on Patreon, Queen. All right. Colonoscopy. You guys ready? Short.
Yeah.
Short, cute. Hi, guys. So this is kind of a funny medical story. All my life, I've had a really fucked up stomach. And in high school, I got a colonoscopy to see if they could find anything. The morning of the procedure, I get to the hospital and I go in to meet the doctor who would be shoving a camera up my ass. Turns out it was my neighbor. Turns out it was my neighbor / mother of one of my childhood friends growing up. Like, oh my God, I would have shaved or something if I had known some lady I personally knew would be doing this.
Oh my
I felt
God.
so awkward. I was shortly put under. She's a doctor, whatever. I was shortly put under and we got it all over with. But now every time I leave the house and she waves at me, I just can't help but think about the fact that she shoved a camera up my unconscious asshole. And I wonder if she thinks the same thing. By the way, after years of doing tests and scans and traveling to see different doctors, nobody could help my stomach issues. And we've concluded it's all caused by my terrible anxiety. I wonder if that's true.
I had the same thing. I had the
Really?
same thing.
Really?
Yeah, I was hospitalized for extreme stomach pain in college, and I kept going back to the hospital. Like I kept having to go to the ER with
Fuck.
terrible stomach pain. And finally, they were like, "All right, let's do a colonoscopy." They ended up finding benign polyps, which has nothing to do with it, but they said that there was just anxiety. It was just stress.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was like
Really?
yeah,
Well,
and
the chemicals we release when we're cortisol, I believe it is,
Mhm.
it's so toxic for us.
yeah, and
Is cortisol toxic?
I mean, maybe not like officially toxic, but it's just very unhealthy to have high levels of in your
cortisol.
body.
Okay, got it. Yeah.
And it like, you know.
they at one point they said it was like colitis, which is basically just like irritable bowels. But
You got that IBS.
I do think that I was a little bit what's the word intolerant lactose intolerant
yeah.
and
Yeah,
didn't
because you
really
were chugging that fucking whole
and-
milk.
he
and-
was.
well,
You were sucking off
I
cow
was in-
udders, dude.
Yeah, he
I was in
was.
college, so you know a lot of like pizza and burgers and stuff. But
And whole milk.
I do
Yeah.
think I was
Lee, you have a big I drink whole milk
Lot of
vibe.
jugs of milk.
Yo, yeah, like the gallon.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
That's what my ex would do,
sick.
Joe. He would just fucking open up the fridge and drink his gallon of milk.
But yeah, they said it was at the end of the day. They said it was just mostly anxiety.
I wonder if that's true. Because it's like it is a thing too where a lot of our internal life, our
I'm
emotional
sorry,
life.
wait. I'm
I wonder
sorry.
if it's
What?
true.
I'm
sitting
sorry,
here
Gabby.
telling you
What the
it's
fuck
true.
was that? He literally just tells you that the doctor said.
No,
Oh, yeah.
but I
And you
wonder.
go, I wonder if that's true.
Yeah.
Like,
No, I mean, like, I wonder if it really is just anxiety. If there is something else, you know, like if you actually do have something wrong with your stomach, and they're like, nah, it's just anxiety.
I really think it was. But I think that I think the unchecked anxiety can cause further issues.
Yeah,
oh,
right.
totally.
Right.
And because you're just
You
clenching
can go into
and
fucking
tense
psychosis from
and
fucking anxiety.
Yeah.
yeah, it can really like I just had a really hard day at work, and I literally had these fucking calf cramps for 3 days. My calves were cramped
Because
for
you're not
3
doing
days.
your calf exercises.
I am, but
Well, you're not. Doesn't sound like you are.
Okay, I'm gonna
okay,
read.
fucking MD over here, Gabby. Fucking, do you work for Cedar Sinai now?
Actually, my
she's a-
grandfather Magdi Khaleb
The fake Egyptian.
was an MD.
But not at Cedars. Not at Cedars.
Not
That's
at
like-
Cedars.
Not
but
at Cedars. He
Tarzana.
could never at
It's
Cedars.
like
Okay.
saying my uncle was a therapist.
Yeah, well,
so I'm
yeah.
not crazy.
So it runs in my blood. I just want to let you know that Magdi Khaleb.
Having bad pussy. Okay.
Yeah,
Hey,
great
Honks and
pussy.
Lee.
Great
Hey,
pussy.
Honks and Lee.
Yeah,
Hey,
doctor.
Hey,
It runs
Honks
in the
and
blood.
Lee.
Surgeon.
Hey, Honks and Lee. I have a wild story about my mom being misdiagnosed. A few years back, she developed this issue where she was always in pain and would randomly pass out. It happened a couple times where she fell face down and bashed her face,
Sounds like
giving herself black eyes. It's giving you.
It is
It-
giving Harper.
This is literally what Harper does.
What? How?
Because you have epilepsy and you fucking fall over all the time.
all the time.
The thing about doing a podcast with two fucking liars is that it's really hard to like stand up for myself.
What is it called? The pot calling the kettle black?
That's a little racist, but yeah.
Is it?
No, I don't
So it's
know.
very fitting coming from Gabby. Okay. Hey, Honks and Lee. I have
don't
a
like
wild
that I'm-
story about
I
my
don't like that
I
I'm
have a
painted as
wild
a
story
white
about my mom
nationalist.
being misdiagnosed. A few years back, she developed this issue where she was in pain and would randomly pass out. It happened a couple times where she fell face down and bashed her face. Okay, Gabby, I'm gonna literally chop your foot off and stick it up your fucking hemorrhoid ass if you fucking annoy the fuck out of me one more fucking time. Okay, not. You laugh like you have jelly beans in your tummy. I'm getting fucking
I'm
pissed.
just excited to see Bad Bunny tonight.
Okay, yeah, fuck off. Okay, I'm gonna literally bash your knees so you can't go. Okay, would pass out. It happened a couple times where she fell face down and bashed her face. Wait, giving herself black eyes. It was super scary. She went to this dude gyno, which also, okay, I don't think you should be fucking looking. I don't think women should be looking at dicks as a doctor. I don't think men should be looking at pussies for a doctor.
I agree. I agree.
I
with
think
that.
that's just I don't understand.
We don't get it. We don't get the anatomy. Even as scientific as you can be, a guy gets what it's like having a dick. A woman gets what it's like having a pussy.
Yeah, and also like the emotionally like the emotional vulnerability it takes to like fucking show someone your fucking snatch. Like,
Yeah.
come on.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. I had a fucking, okay, when I got my first IUD in, he was asking me if I did stand up while he was in, he's like, oh, so you do stand up? Tell me a joke. Boom, boom. And like shoving a fucking IUD up here. I'm like, okay.
He's like, that's not funny. Give me another
Yeah,
one.
come on. Ha, 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 ha. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm like
Give me the-
throwing up blood on the ground.
Give
Okay.
me the yuck yucks, bitch.
Okay, which as a man, I think gynecologists are gross. Sorry. Okay, amen. He told her some wild shit about how if she didn't get this surgery, her vagina would fall out.
Oh. That sounds actually
That sounds like
pretty true.
Lee, honestly. Lee is always coming up with some whack ass shit to say, like take some medicine. Okay. Other doctors said that she was just under stress or just experiencing anxiety. No one listened to her or thought it was alarming. She would pass out and bash her face in randomly.
Oh, easy, yeah.
She eventually got some advice on what tests to request from my girlfriend's mom at the time. Now my mother-in-law, who was a cancer nurse, who's my now mother-in-law, who's a cancer nurse. They found out she had a cyst on one of her ovaries that she had removed and recovered, but is doing well. But during the time frame when she was passing out and didn't know what was wrong, when I lived at home, I got super sick one night. It was a stomach bug I got from my girlfriend's family. I woke up to puke, and as I was barfing, my mom came downstairs to check on me, and I was like, I'm fine, go back to bed. Mid-barf, I heard a heavy thud, and once I finished, I looked over to see my mom out cold with her head in the dog's water dish. Oh. Lee, why would you laugh at that, you sociopathic mess?
It's not funny.
It's funny?
It's not funny.
What, the dog's water dish?
It's not
It's
funny.
so funny.
Lee,
It's not
I'm
funny.
okay. We need to have.
You.
It's not funny.
Gabby,
Lee.
you're a sociopath too, but at least you're on board with this. I mean, I swear to God, Lee, the emotional depth, where is it? Where is it, babes? Okay. And this is why we had to break up. Okay.
The water dish. Come on.
It's not funny.
Okay, you're actually being funny. Okay. Okay. Lee, try and compose yourself because I have to read some more trauma, so try not to laugh at women's pain. Okay. Bitch, where even am I? It's all blatant.
Wait. This is all because of a cyst,
Yes.
but not cancerous.
no.
Just a cyst that's making her pass out.
yeah.
That's what we are told. Okay.
Yes. Mid barf, heavy thud. Okay, earmuffs, Lee. She fell in the dog's water dish. All right. I rolled her.
She put that in to be funny.
Oh, shut the fuck up. Keep reading.
She didn't put this.
She's not
in.
putting
Added the
punches
water
in this.
dish.
story.
She's
No,
not
she
The
like-
didn't.
water dish is to be funny.
Lee, you are some sort of sick fucking bastard.
Keep reading.
If you
I can't. I don't even want to
You
look
know
at
what?
him right now.
I can't. I literally
Yeah, keep reading.
don't breathe into the mic like that. Okay, Gabby, let's just lock in because I fucking can't with this. Okay, to see my mom out cold with her head in the dog's water dish, I rolled her over and her eyes were wild, and she was shivering. I didn't even get a chance to rinse the barf out of my mouth. She came to after a minute or two and she said she was okay and said just go to bed. She went upstairs and I started to clean myself up. While I was rinsing out my mouth, I heard another loud thud from her bedroom
No.
upstairs. Lee, I ran up to see my mom on her bedroom floor, laying on her back with no shirt or bra on, shaking with her eyes wide open, darting around like someone in REM sleep. Okay, that sounds like a
Jesus.
seizure.
Yeah, it
And
does.
grunting like it was hard to breathe. It was truly exhausting, it was truly haunting exorcist type shit. I shook her by the shoulders and said, "Mom," over and over for what seemed like forever, but was only probably a minute or two. When she woke up, I helped her sit up and she looked all confused. After a couple seconds, she began to understand what happened. She went upstairs and was changing out of her shirt that was wet from the dog's water dish and passed out on the way to grab a new shirt. She said she was okay and I made sure she got into bed, then went back downstairs to barf some more. For the rest of the
Jesus.
night and the next day, I threw up pretty much every hour. It was terrible. But it would be super cool if you guys read this. Love the podcast. My wife and I listened to it. I'll attach some pictures of us. We've been together 9 years and married for 1. Us in
Aw.
high school, us with my mom around the time she was sick, us for our wedding day, and the more recent one of my little sister.
Oh, they just sent us pictures. Just to see.
there
Very
was
cute.
no resolution there.
There was no resolution,
They-
but you guys are very cute.
I'm gonna be honest. I got so confused because this was an acid trip reading this story because I had to yell at these fucking hogs
She
the whole time.
100% put the dog bowl to be funny.
She didn't put the dog wheel. Funny.
Two,
So your mom had a
call 911 if she's passing out that much.
But okay, hold on. Yeah, so the mom. All we know is that it's just a benign tumor.
my mom being misdiagnosed. A few years back, she developed an issue where she was always in pain and would randomly pass out.
And it was a cyst.
Oh
It
my
was
God.
an ovarian cyst.
Yeah, this sounds like a.
And there's a lot of information missing. And what happened?
Okay. Not you getting mad.
Yeah, not you getting fucking mad. We don't need the fucking attitude. I'll tell you that. We don't need the fucking
He's
attitude.
so
You can
mad.
fucking calm the fuck down.
You want to know why he's mad?
Call
Because he's like
911.
He's really mad because nobody ended up jerking off
Oh,
into
yeah.
that water bowl.
No,
At the end of
you
the
know
night,
what
that's
he's mad? He's like,
at.
it wasn't water in the dog's bowl. It was cum. Lee, how many times are we going to use the same fucking cum punchline? Sorry, no, there was actually water in the dish. It's not a whodunit situation. We
Well,
know it was
here's
the
the thing.
dog's water. No, because now you're fucking stuttering and blubbering and I'm going to get fucking
No,
even
okay,
more
everybody
pissed.
just shut the fuck up.
No, you shut the fuck up because now I'm going the fuck off on you. And
No.
why was that fucking funny?
Why didn't she call 911? And if their
That is a
mother
good
was
question.
like
Well,
fucking
here I
dying.
will tell you guys for when you're if you have epilepsy and you're passing out like that,
But she
there's
was
nothing.
diagnosed
There's
epileptic,
nothing
right?
really. Well, I'm saying like if you're like passing out, it sounds like that was a fucking seizure with her eyes fluttering like that.
Yeah,
It sounded like she was having repetitive seizures. and
Yeah,
she needed
but
to be
there's
fucking
nothing-
hospitalized.
she should get
Like
a brain
you should
scan.
go to the doctor,
Yeah.
but like
Yeah.
just like if your seizure lasts more than like a minute, then you should go to the hospital 100% because you can get like you can permanently like fuck
It
your brain
sounds like
up.
she wasn't stopping. Like she was kind of coming to, but not really. She was still confused.
Now, what
And
I'm
then she
taking
was
away.
going down again.
Hold on. What I'm taking away from this story is a beautiful moment between a mother and a daughter. While a mother is passing out
And the daughter's
and the
violently
daughter's throwing up,
and I
and in
hear
the end, everybody's okay.
and I hear all of the complaints and I hear a beautiful story and I
Yeah.
hear your complaints. My one and you guys, you
Yeah.
sent us all these pictures. Here's the one picture you didn't include. A picture of your mom's tits. That's the one question. How?
Fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How
yeah.
were those floppies?
Yeah.
Gab?
All right, next story.
Okay.
Over 2 years ago, I went on a camping trip during which I went swimming and had sex. No, what are you doing? You can't do
Wait,
that.
I'm so sorry. They're on a camping trip and had sex?
She goes swimming, and then so she gets that fucking pond water in her puss.
Oh, honey.
Fucked. Yeah, no.
This isn't fucking the Parent Trap. Don't go fucking taking a dip in the fucking nest.
Again, it's giving 1400.
No, yeah, you don't go swimming in a parasite-filled lake with fucking shit.
No,
Do you know how many people diarrhea in lakes?
This is giving the Black Plague.
It actually, honestly is.
So 2 years ago, I went on a camping trip during which I went swimming and had sex. When I got back, my puss was all irritated. Yeah, because you're fucking in the pond water, dude.
Yeah, come on, dude.
I went to the OBGYN and my doctor told me it looked like I could potentially have herpes. I
bet a fish gave it to you.
She took a swab test, but then a week later, I found out that I didn't. But then a week later, I found out they didn't actually run the tests. Because they didn't have the capacity due to COVID.
Oh, cool.
That's so fucked.
Cool.
My boyfriend at the time never had any symptoms, at least said he didn't. I haven't had any symptoms since that. Oh my God, what is wrong with me? I haven't had any symptoms since that one time, but to this day, I am just in limbo of not knowing for sure whether or not I have herpes. Get tested. Oh my God, go get a blood test.
Honey, this again.
Girl.
I don't really understand what we're doing here. Literally, go get a motherfucking test.
Go get a blood test.
There's free testing spots.
I'm celibate as fuck. But if that changes, I guess I'll have to disclose, hey, there's a small chance I could potentially have herpes. Well, go get tested.
Girl,
go to Planned Parenthood. They'll do it for free.
Planned Parenthood or an LGBTQ testing center. Literally, they'll do it for free. I don't understand.
Don't email us.
I tried once.
Yeah, you don't want to be telling people you have herpes if you don't.
Yeah, you're writing to us underneath the covers hey, keep my secret, bitch. We're about to fucking air you out. Go fuck it. No,
my guess, it was just some severe irritation from getting hit with that lake water and sweaty dick combo. Possibly.
I mean,
but I don't know if I can morally not disclose. But I don't know if I can morally not disclose if a doctor thought it looked like I had herpes.
Bitch, you're giving drama. Go get fucking tested. God.
Yeah, girl, it's so easy.
We're all pissed.
Also, I know, we're all fucking... No,
get a blood test, be like, I had... Whatever, you don't even have to explain. Just be like, I want to get tested for these things. Also, it could potentially be something else, and you wouldn't want that. There are times where, I don't know, if you got an infection...
Yeah.
Or if it was an STD from a partner and for some reason it just activated then and now you have chlamydia and syphilis.
Syphilis is big right now, actually. It's going around.
Is she hot right now? She's hot on the block. The thing is some of these STDs can just hide inside of your body with no symptoms.
They can remain dormant, yeah.
Yeah. So you go get tested, fucking get some shit figured out.
Come on, Sister Queen. Go fucking...
You don't have to have an excuse. You don't have to be like, I think I have this.
You don't need to go and tell them your whole fucking story. Literally just go in, put your name on a list. They're going to swab you up. They're going to take some blood. It's going to take 15, 20 minutes.
You do a whole panel and look for everything.
Yeah.
Now, and here's another thing, and I don't know, it blows my mind that people don't actually know this, but Planned Parenthood is free. I have always gone to Planned Parenthood. I have insurance and I go to Planned Parenthood. And even if you don't have to pay a fucking thing, people are like, well, yeah. People are like, don't you have to pay? No, you go in there, you say you don't have insurance. Everything is free.
The only thing you have to pay for are abortions and I believe not birth control you can get for free.
No, birth control is free.
Yeah.
It's all free. The only thing you have to pay for is an abortion. And that honestly should be free. I wish I could do it for you, but I can't.
Yeah, we can't. But
everything is free. You can go, you can get a fucking pap smear, you can get birth control, you can get blood tests, you can get STD tested. Go into fucking Planned Parenthood. They will do everything for free.
Everything for free. And then if you are a part of the LGBTQ community, then you can go into, depending on where where you live, but I know in LA, I believe in San Francisco and in New York, they have these centers where you can go and they will provide not only counseling, but they will provide testing and in some cases rehabilitation for certain things. But yeah, they're incredible centers. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it doesn't have to be a big whole scary fucking thing. If you're a honk and you're a part of this podcast, go get fucking tested.
You should know for sure.
You don't want to be in the dark.
Hey, I might have herpes. Yeah, no. Go. You want to know what's going on with your body.
Yeah. Cut that shit out.
Because that's not some. I mean, it could just be some swamp water nasty dick combination. But go figure it out.
Yeah.
You'll feel better.
Yeah.
So you don't. So you
And-
also aren't living with this thing of like, do I have herpes?
Also, just do it just for the practice of like getting in the habit of taking care of yourself. You got to be able to do that.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh, I guess it's my turn. Okay.
Now that we've climbed up your asshole.
I know. Okay, but honestly, that was like some big sister love. Okay. Hi, all you beautiful honks. Well, I'm a medical fucking mess, so I've got a few stories for you. When I was 23, my body started feeling fucked up. I'll spare the boring details, but I had been previously healthy since, so it was really confusing and life altering. I had a past history of mental health diagnosis and was on Zoloft, so the doctor looked at me, a young mentally ill female, and blamed the symptoms on anxiety. Turned out to be a really serious condition called small fiber neuropathy. And I've never heard of that. What is that? Okay, there's no cure, but it would have been nice to not have wasted all that time and money and truthfully to question my own sanity for all those years. Honey, I'm so sorry. But it doesn't end there. No, the universe wanted to fuck me in the ass harder. At 27, I went to several doctors and the emergency room twice with a ton of stomach discomfort and just feeling like I was dying. Lost a ton of weight. Hospital told me I was constipated and to go home and take some laxatives and to basically get out of their face. Turned out to be Crohn's disease. They almost killed me. It's been years and I can't say I don't still hold a ton of anger about the little little compassion the doctors have and how I've seen so many of them treat women so condescendingly. Very fucking true. I truly believe if I were a man, I wouldn't have taken that long to be diagnosed.
True.
Anyway, your show has gotten me through some very rough times these past few months, including a hospitalization and falling down to rock bottom. So I really appreciate you guys. Keep doing what you're doing. Honey, we fucking love you so much. Thank you for writing in. And I'm so sorry you weren't fucking listened to.
Yeah,
that is
man.
so frustrating.
It's so crazy how women, and especially women of color, are completely overlooked in the medical world.
Completely overlooked.
Oh my God. Lee.
What?
No, just saying.
No,
you're a white guy.
Lee?
You must be nice.
Yeah, it must be fucking nicely laughing at bitches falling in dog bowls,
Must
sitting
be
on your
nice.
ivory little fucking throne.
His little fucking Hitler throne over there
Yeah,
with his
your like
blonde
white
hair and his
cloak.
blue
I'm just
eyes.
honestly,
Yeah.
I'm fucking.
It's giving Grand
sickened.
Wizard. It's giving Grand Wizard.
Yeah.
A,
Yeah.
not blonde. B,
Meh, Sandy
You know what?
blonde. Were
Here's
you a
the
blonde
thing.
kid?
Jewish. C,
I always forget that.
I know, you'd really do.
Small fiber neuropathy is a condition characterized by severe pain attacks that typically begin in the feet or hands.
Oh,
Jesus.
jeez, Louise.
Were you a blonde kid?
No,
Brunette?
I've always had brown hair.
You're not. I would look at you and say he's kind of blonde. What do you say?
No,
Sandy.
I would
blonde.
say like kind of
Brown
like
hair.
red hair. Reddish.
like almost like a clown.
Yeah.
Like Ronald McDonald.
Yeah. I would kind of say like, especially with like like the red nose, it just is kind of.
Yeah, no, it does kind of give. It is giving Ronald McDonald.
I would kind of say we have one more story each.
We do. Well, this is a long one. Here we go. Hey, Honks and Lee.
Hi.
Just spent the last 2 weeks trying to get back into Patreon account after switching phones so I could get my extra weekly dose of tea time back. Thank you. Word to the wise. Never sign up for anything with a Facebook login. It's a damn nightmare when it stops working for no reason. Almost lost my credit for turning on. Okay.
Okay,
All right.
okay.
Listening to Gabby and Harper rant about how garbage doctors are in the last episode had me laughing so hard. I had to write in for this one because pretty much my entire life I've dealt with one shitty, sexist, arrogant doctor after the next, ignoring my medical concerns and making me feel like a crazy ass bitch instead of doing their literal job. This was written by a woman. Okay, of course. Because of course. I've had ongoing health issues since I was an infant, beginning around 2 years old when I began getting chronic UTIs. Okay, I don't know. Isn't there something to do with like sexual abuse and kids? I don't know your story, but like, isn't it a thing if like little girls are constantly getting UTIs, it means they're being sexually abused?
Yeah.
That's a thing, right?
That can be a thing.
Not saying that you were, but that is a thing. Like that's a sign.
I would get them a lot, but I was like kind of a nasty bitch and I was always like playing in the mud.
Like
and
putting
shit.
stuff in your pussy.
No, but I was like always like making like mud castles and shit.
Well, you're
And I was
getting
always-
in your pussy.
No.
Well, then how are you getting UTIs?
Well, I wasn't putting it in my pussy.
Well, you're getting UTIs,
but I'm like
so
sitting
somehow
on
it's-
it.
Yeah, okay, so it's in your pussy. Whether you want to say you're directly putting it in your pussy or not, it's
I'm gonna say
in
that
your
this
pussy.
energy is unlikable.
It says many children who hold urine too long or
Oh.
don't relax fully when urinating or don't empty their bladder.
'Cause
So
they
I
have, like,
so I
little-
just made a hefty
little-
accusation.
Little baby stress. But
Yeah.
I swear to God, I thought I had
There's
heard
a
that
thing,
too.
right?
Yeah. And we are scientists, so maybe
Well,
we are
and when I was little, I had worms in my butthole. And now that is not a result of sexual
So
abuse.
how are you gonna sit
When you
here?
were little,
Yeah, I got worms in my asshole. We talked about this
Gabby!
on here.
I don't remember.
I don't
No,
like.
you
I don't like how you went
didn't.
you went like this when I said that. You went. He like lifted his eyebrow, gave me a little wink.
Ew, Lee,
Did you
you're
have
being
worms?
weird this episode. Stop being fucking annoying.
We've talked about this on here. Yeah, when I was little, I had worms. And
Ew.
yeah, because I would play in the dirt, and then I would like.
Did you have worms?
Oh, you would eat it?
I would chew my finger. I would bite my fingernails. So you're getting all that shit.
Bunky,
Yeah.
no.
And then I got these little. My asshole was just itching so much when I was little. I remember it was just this itchy asshole. And
You always have asshole
I've
problems.
always had asshole problems. And
And this is
talked
why you're
about
not
this.
an anal girl.
I'll never be an anal girl. And I swear. And my mom had they come out at night. The worms literally come out of your asshole at night.
Gabrielle.
And when I was little, my mom had to come into my asshole. She had to pry open my little asshole and look in my ass to see the
Shut
worms.
the fuck up.
Yeah. And then she saw them and was like, yeah, she's got worms. So
Oh,
then
you
I had
have
to be-
demons, bitch. That is
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah. So I had to be put on medication. I remember I had to drink it with orange juice because the worms come out
Oh
at
my
night.
God. Well, that thing that I just sent you, you should do that now, to be honest. The papaya where you scoop out the seeds and then it flushes out all the
Oh,
parasites.
it's great. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah,
Worms come out at night.
yeah, the worms quite literally come out at night. They're playing field hockey in your asshole. They're playing,
That's fucking insane.
yeah, they're out there playing fucking, I don't know, hopscotch.
Okay,
Fucking
let's get back to the story. I
night
can't.
crawlers.
Yeah,
fucking
night
Charlie
crawlers.
Day over
Crazy.
here.
Mom pries open my little asshole and sees those little worms having a party.
Ew.
All right. Anyway. Okay, so you got UTIs. They progressively got worse over the years to the point where I would have them almost monthly or just wouldn't go away with treatment.
Mm.
It was until I got older and realized how bad the mass amounts of antibiotics I was constantly being put on were.
It's like bad for your liver. and
So
shit.
bad. That it dawned on me that they probably weren't working for me at all anymore because I developed a resistance to them.
Mm.
When I expressed concern about this to my longtime doctor at 18 years old and asked what could possibly make me so prone to UTIs, she scoffed at me. She's a woman too, it sucks. She scoffed at me and told me I was a hypochondriac and insisted that I was really just depressed and needed to get back on my antidepressants, which I'd been prescribed at 14 and hadn't been on in 2 years at that point. Wow. Fuck her.
Ew.
I know. I was baffled that she was actually suggesting depression was causing the problems with my bladder, or worse, that I was making it up despite years of positive tests to prove otherwise. I tried to explain how my mother also had chronic UTIs her whole life and how I knew no one my age who had issues with this. Most had never even had one. She just continued to ignore my concerns that something bigger might be wrong. Then, a few weeks later, I had just clocked into work, and not even a half hour into my shift, I was running a high fever, was extremely nauseous, and when I went to pee, experienced the most excruciating pain as I pissed out what looked like 2 tiny pieces of raw chicken.
Okay.
Shut the fuck up.
Okay.
Did you have, was it
What?
kidney stones?
Oh my fucking
What?
God. What the fuck? What the fuck?
I grabbed a Solo cup, scooped them out at the toilet, and called my mom immediately to take me to the ER. This story has me on the edge of my
I
fucking
know.
seat. At this point, I was thinking I had a kidney infection or bladder stones because what the fuck just came out of me? And at this time, when I saw the doctor, I had proof. I had the proof I'd scooped up right there in the cup with me. Haha, bitch. Turned out it was my literal bladder lining shedding because it was so damaged and inflamed from years of infections.
Oh, honey.
My
Oh
dad
my
called to
God.
demand my primary physician be changed. Be fucking fired. Fired.
It's so hard to get a doctor fired, though, just like a cop.
This is hard. This is fucking intense. My dad called to demand my primary physician be changed, and my new doctor was actually pretty wonderful. She was shocked that my previous physician had never ordered any additional testing because she told me that more than one UTI in a 6-month period was cause for major concern, and yet my medical history indicated that 1 to 2 positive lab results a month for the last 2 years. Maybe last 2 years. She ordered multiple tests to check for cancer and other growths in which nothing was found, so we worked on a plan to treat holistically and even take more preventative measures than I was already on at the time. I at least felt like I was being heard finally and working towards answers, but then my new doctor suddenly was never available. Oh, God. When I called to schedule appointments. And after 2 months of being unable to reach her, what the?
What the fuck?
2 months of being able to unreach her and being told she had no availability, I found out she was no longer with Kaiser. What the fuck?
Of course this is Kaiser. Of course.
You gotta go to Cedars. The UTIs
Shut the fuck up,
were
bitch.
probably... That sucks, dude. How aggravating. Oh, God. The UTIs were probably the condition most affecting my quality of life, but there were others too, like how I regularly passed out.
Oh.
It'd come in episodes. The first at 10 years old when I passed out multiple times in a week and was told I was anemic. Then at 16, I passed out 5 times in less than an hour. In less than half an hour. Lost my motor function and my speech was coming out in the wrong order.
Oh, honey.
Like in a dyslexic way, you could say, oh, okay, so it's giving Exorcist. That's when I found out I was not anemic, but turns out when they tested my blood pressure, my diastolic, diastolic, which isn't supposed to fluctuate much, was rapidly changing from laying down to sitting and standing and moving, causing a lack of oxygen to my brain. They also did blood tests that showed my thyroid count was extremely high. They kept retesting, and each time the result was higher than the previous. Jesus.
Diastolic is blood pressure.
Okay. Then one day they told me I was good, and when I asked what was wrong, they said it was nothing to be concerned about at my age. Oh my, you're just being fucking gaslit by all of these professionals.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck off. Years later, I started to get crazy rashes all over my body that itched and hurt so bad. My boyfriend was getting them as well at first, and we had just been on a hike before it started, so we assumed poison oak or something, but my rashes were different than his, appearing like hives sometimes, then almost like cuts or gnarly scratches other times, even though I wasn't scratching. His rash was only on his legs, and mine was all over my body. Then his went away after a few days, but mine didn't. I made an appointment with my newest doctor about after 2 weeks of this, and she insisted it was allergies, even though it was wintertime and not like any sinus-related allergies I'd had before. Dude, this is so frustrating. After months of this, I pressed her again and again. The rashes were worse. They happened all the time, no matter where I was, what foods and care products I cut out of my diet, etc. There was no logical reason, and the only trigger I knew for certain was that any sort of pressure on my skin could set off the rashing, like leaning on an elbow and crossing my legs. Finally, after a year, I was referred to an immunologist who determined I had health problems. Who determined I had a condition called dermatographic urticaria,
Whoa.
also known as skin writing.
What?
Whoa, this is some Harry Potter shit.
Oh my God.
It was at this point I found out all my health problems were connected, and my doctors had all known this. What? Skin writing? Dude. My immunologist...
That sounds like something out of like a fucking like
horror movie.
Yeah.
My immunologist told me I had an autoimmune disorder, and that is why my whole life I had random health conditions that seemed to have no cause. Some conditions could last a short time, for some years, and some lifelong. That's why my thyroid count suddenly wasn't a problem to them, because I have hyperthyroidism that comes and goes. All my health problems rooted from this predisposition caused by the autoimmune disorder, but new symptoms can pop up anytime after certain trauma triggers. Stress, contacts with irritants like mold, poisonous plants, sickness, like a cold, flu, medications, etc. Obviously, finding out I had an autoimmune issues is not good news, but at least it explained all these health problems I had been battling my whole life. I was relieved, but also furious, knowing that some sort of clarity and peace of mind could have been provided to me for years if just one doctor had cared enough to explain things to me or actually listen to my concerns without the constant fight.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my God. There are so many other conditions I've had that were ignored that are too many to number in this novel I've already written.
So look at skin writing real quick.
She sent pictures too.
Oh, really? Of herself or of Google?
herself.
Oh my
Holy
God.
Shit. Holy shit.
So like
this is like demonic looking.
Like look at like on her leg.
So you guys, it looks like if anyone ever saw that Amy Adams like Dark Objects or whatever it is, where she like cut her whole entire body. There's a bunch of markings on the flesh that looks like as if someone took like a razor Oh, that's disgusting. Oh my God. I am so
Some
sorry,
of the
love.
ones that like are skin writing is like artwork, I think, but
No, that's probably the real disease.
they're like something
Here's
like
some.
that, like scratches.
That is awful.
It looks like a bunch
It
of
looks
scratches.
barbaric.
God, it's horrible.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like you got into like a fight in the cafeteria.
Blah, 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 blah. Not to say, okay, hold on. This novel I've already written, but I've learned that being persistent and oftentimes a bitch is literally the only way to get what you need in our lousy medical field.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah, you have to fucking push.
Yeah, you do.
And it's really hard when they're like, no, you're fine. And you're like, no, but I know that there's something wrong because this is my body and there's something wrong.
It's just so hard too when like, you know, again, like what we've already touched on, when like you're putting your trust into these people that are like study for years.
Not to say
Oy vey.
Not to say that there are not good doctors out there, but more often than not, most are just pushing pharmaceuticals or dismissing you outright for being too young, having mental health problems, or just being a woman or POC. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I know that there are so many others who have dealt with this and probably have way worse stories to share on it. Not enough people realize how discouraging and damaging your mental health, how damaging to your mental health it can be having to fight for your medical problems to be taken seriously when you are paying way too much money for nothing to be actually done. So if you're out there dealing with anything like this, don't be afraid to tell your doctor they ain't shit and gaslight them right back. Thanks for reading. Tea time gets me through every bad day and always gives me something to look forward to. I've been listening since day one. Oh, that's so cute. And I'm so excited for how far it's come. Hope to make it to a live show one of these days. P.S. I know you love photos. I included both some rash, viewer discretion advised. One of the bladder lining I pissed out.
Oh my God. Okay.
Oh no.
Wait.
So this is just her, like, these are just like, you know, looks like she was just cut.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like we saw in the
Yeah.
images,
Yeah. That's still, God, thank you so much for taking the time to write that in. And like,
yeah, God,
that must have been hard to like relive. Oh, it just went away, Bunk.
Oh.
But thank you so much for writing us in.
Just like rashy, bumpy, rashy, horrible.
Oh my God, I'm so fucking sorry. That's awful. And not only are you dealing with all of this, with all of these health conditions, but then you're also going through emotional turmoil.
It's her bladder.
It looks like a little eggy fetus.
That upset me more than I thought it would.
Oh, I'm sorry. Was that hard for you to look
Oh,
at?
Lee, I wouldn't ever
Lee,
upset
Lee's
you.
he's just such a feminist that it's hard for him to look at when women are in pain.
Yeah, unless they're in a dog bowl.
Yeah.
Okay, when I was in college, I had strep so much, and I kept asking my doctor if I could get my tonsils out.
Yep.
And I just had repeated strep over and over and over. I would have it like 4 or 5 times a year. And then it got to a point where it was never going away. And I was begging. I was like, can I just get my tonsils out? She's like, they're not big enough. They're not big enough.
Yeah.
And so then I saw another doctor and he looked, he's like, no, these need to come out.
That happened actually with me too.
And
yeah.
Really?
and then I got my tonsils out and I wasn't sick. I didn't even
You never got sick anymore.
I didn't even get a cold for 3 years.
That dude,
Fuck, I wish I had my fucking tonsils
I had the
out.
same shit. I'd always had strep throat. Always. Huge tonsils, always infected. And doctors were always like, nah, it's fine. And then like before I got off my mom's insurance, I was like, I need these out. And finally, of course, at Cedars, they were like, we'll take them out for you, Sister Queen. Greatest hospital.
Yeah, so it was absolutely insane. Like I was for 2 years, I never didn't have strep.
Yes, me too.
I was
always sick.
Yeah, and she just kept giving me different medicines
Mhm.
because then amoxicillin stopped working. So
Mhm.
then the Z-Pack, and then the Z-Pack stopped working, and then this.
Yeah.
And even when as far back as when I was in high school, I got strep twice a year.
Yep.
And so
Jesus
amoxicillin stopped
Christ.
working. And that's how I found out I was allergic to sulfa drugs, is because they gave me this sulfa-based drug and I had an allergic reaction to it and I had to go to the ER for that. And so, yeah, I just had strep my whole life. And then I was begging,
Did you get
begging,
tonsil
begging.
stones?
Not that I know of.
Ugh, they were so gross.
You had them? Did you like pop them out?
Yeah, so fun to pop out.
Ew.
Yeah, it's so gross. They're like they get like little pockets in your tonsils and you could pop them out with like
Ew.
Q-tips and they smelled really bad. Like little white stones.
ugh. Did you get it? So did you get strep as a kid?
All the time.
Some of my earliest memories are having strep.
Me too.
Like in the
strep
summer.
and ear
Doesn't
infections.
that give you like the white dots in your
I
mouth?
got ear infections too. Yeah, I would always get strep and ear infections.
Yeah.
Because they're connected. And
Oh, really?
I only had one doctor ever admit to me that you can get strep and you can get ear infections from strep. Only one doctor ever admitted it to me.
Okay, you know what? Well,
Mhm.
it's kind of in the same vein as that, but like about how things are connected when they keep happening like that. One thing that I was noticing for over a few stories is a lot of the women that had cysts were fainting and passing out.
Mhm.
That's another interesting thing. One of our friends gets horrific fucking cysts.
Yeah, she does.
It's like gnarly. It has had to be hospitalized for them.
Yeah.
Does she pass out from it?
No.
No.
She just is in a lot of like chronic pain.
But one of my other friends that gets them from back home, she does. But I wish there was like more studies on women's health so we could figure out, or like maybe it's
Hey,
already out
guess
there.
what?
and I
There's
just don't know.
zero on women's health.
Oh my God, there was this horrific documentary on Hulu about procedures gone wrong on women. And there used to be this like metal grate. It looked like a screen that they would put like underneath the skin where women pee. I don't know exactly how it would work, but like they would put like this
metal meshing.
Yeah, this metal mesh, I guess, to like help with like women's bladders. But like every single woman that got it done, like it became extremely infected, and a lot of them had to get like their uteruses taken out, or like they have to pee out of bags now. Like
I think
permanently
that's
fucked them
wild.
up.
I think I've seen ads for a class action suit against metal meshing.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. No, they don't do it anymore. But it's so like, I mean, just like horrible that this is like allowed to fucking happen.
Yeah, it is.
We have one more.
Okay.
One of our listeners sent us pictures. She just was talking about her lips because we have like the same lip issues. She got like a bunch of filler
Uh-huh.
and then got this surgery called a lip lift. And wow, bitch, does it look so good. Your lips
Is that what you
aren't-
sent me last
That's
night?
what I sent you last night. Wow. It's like a $5,000 procedure to get this lip lift, but this looks good.
Wow.
God damn, that looks
Looks
so
really,
good.
really pretty.
They like slice up under here and pull up your lip. Fuck, that looks so good.
Jesus Christ. Okay, are you ready to listen?
No.
We're on the last one. We're
Yeah.
already an hour and a
Okay.
half.
I'm looking at her lips.
I know. Well, can you just actually put that down?
Is this what my lips look like now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, for real?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what she looked like when she was getting filler.
Okay, do you want to pay attention to the last story?
I need to get that lift.
Okay, let's step outside of yourself for 1 second and then listen to someone else's story. Okay. When I was a sophomore in college, I noticed a palpable lump on the right side of my neck. It had a rubbery texture, and by pushing/pulling on it, I could feel that it seemed to be connected to something deeper toward the center of my throat. This alarmed me, of course, but my PCP chalked it up to a swollen lymph node, as I had recently had my impacted wisdom teeth removed and experienced some infection in my mouth from it. He told me to keep an eye on it to see if they went away over the next few months. Cut to 4 months later, the lump is still there, and I'm getting worried. After a round of herbal detox therapies at the urging of my mom and her hippie friends, to no success, I made an appointment to have my PCP take further look. He issued CT scans and an MRI of my head/neck, after which he nebulously diagnosed me with this word is really fucking my ass. Sarcoid.
Okay, girl, what in the damn...
I know, honey, it gets given SAT prep up in this bitch. Okay.
Yeah, girl.
Sarcoid. SAR.
What in the goddamn Game of Thrones is this?
COID. I know, honey, no one knows what's going on. Okay, which is essentially inflamed tissue that becomes granulous. Okay, no,
Oh,
no.
girl.
Sweet babe, don't
She's writing a
describe
fucking-
a hard word with another hard word. Granulous.
This is a medical
inconspicuous.
essay.
I know, honey, it's like, this is not the fucking MD journal. Like, I don't understand. Okay.
Inflammatory cells, so it's just inflammation.
Okay, but can you look up what granulous means?
Yeah.
Small?
It says inflammatory cells, granulomas. They're
Granuloma.
Honey, miss me with that word.
So is a disease characterized by the growth in tiny collections of
Tiny.
inflammatory
Like
cells,
granular.
granulomas.
Oh, okay. Here we go.
I am smart. Look at that.
Well, I don't know about that, but it hardens in the body. Nothing to worry about, and it should go away on its own, he said. Something didn't feel right in my gut, and I wanted a second opinion. I ended up seeing an ENT specialist who was also at a loss, but was determined to look further into it. He passed my scans around to various colleagues in the hospital as I became something of a mystery case. Meanwhile, they scheduled me.
Popular.
Okay. Meanwhile, they scheduled me for an outpatient surgery to remove the lump and do a biopsy. Less than 24 hours before I was scheduled to go in for this procedure, I got a call from a head neck surgeon, a colleague of the ENT specialist, who told me he had a proper diagnosis and wanted me to come into his office. He told me the surgery was canceled. I was absolutely terrified and called my parents, who drove me to the appointment. I went back to his office alone, and he told me he was 99% sure that I had thyroid cancer.
Jesus.
He deduced this. Okay, not deduce. He deduced this from my from my CT scans, which showed the mass in my neck was connected to a small nodule on my thyroid. He was surprised that so many of the other doctors and surgeons missed this when reviewing my tests, especially considering one of them was a fucking cancer surgeon. After a very uncomfortable needle biopsy, it was confirmed that I had stage 5 papillary whatever thyroid cancer.
Jesus.
Bitch. Which, though highly treatable, had metasized throughout my neck and chest.
No, you are too smart.
Bitch, I'm sick, and I'm reading all these
Metastasized.
words sounding
You're gonna
like
have
a
to
dingle.
you're gonna have to dumb this shit right on down.
Well, I don't know about that voice,
this
but
is like how doctors talk to you when you get cancer, though.
Okay,
They just
that's
like
actually
throw this
another
shit
thing.
at
Well,
you.
then stop being confusing. Talk to us the way that what's his name, Donald Trump would address the United States of America.
you
Right on.
have a thick
Stupid.
neck. But one thing I want to say really
very
quick.
bad. It's looking very bad.
One of my favorite memories of me being in the doctor, like this doctor was like just like rattling off all these medical terms about like my like epilepsy and shit to me, and my mom goes, "Okay, talk to us like we're people. We don't know what you're saying, okay?" And just like shut him down. She goes, "I don't know what that means." And I was just like, "Oh fuck!"
Yeah.
And it was so funny. And my mom is a fucking like grizzly fucking she wolf, and usually it embarrasses me. But like I was so fucking happy that she like went off on that fucker because I didn't know what the fuck he was talking about. I was like, "Oh, what?"
Yeah.
Like Jesus, like
Don't stop saying granular nodules.
Yeah, like if you
Come
say
on,
that to
man.
me, I'm gonna literally hit myself in the head with a hammer because I don't know what the fuck's going on. Okay. Anyways,
I'll eat a fucking Twinkie and leave.
okay. After a very uncomfortable needle, it metasized throughout my neck and chest. The scariest part was when
Metastasized.
Metastasize.
I didn't like your tone, and I don't like the way that you're sitting. Okay, through the neck and chest. Stop just looking at yourself in the monitor and pay attention.
Well, you don't
when
look
I'm
at my
reading.
pussy.
The scariest part was that they had no answers as to what caused this cancer, and they suspected I developed it as a teenager, but because it grows so slowly, they didn't notice. I had an 8-hour surgery to remove my thyroid, all of the cancer tissue, and hundreds of lymph nodes. I was in the ICU for 2 days and spent Christmas in the hospital. It was awful. Furthermore, I was told by the surgeon after that, the cancer was less than 1 millimeter from invading my voice box, and that had it compromised it, they would have had to remove it during surgery. But I would have woken up without the ability to ever speak again. Fucking horrifying. I had to do an insane. That's so insane. I had to do an insane radioactive iodine therapy after the surgery, where I literally ingested radioactive iodine pills and had to be isolated in a plastic covered room for 2 days. It's giving Chernobyl. To destroy any potentially remaining cancer cells in my body. Within the year, I had to have 1 additional lymph node removed just as a precaution, but I have now been cancer-free for almost 11 years. Yay! Yay! Damn, this is a fucking journey. Long story short, always get a second opinion. I know people always say this, but in my case, it actually saved my life. Honey, get a second and third opinion up in this bitch. Side note, I love the podcast. Gabby, Harper, and Lee have given me lots of laughs and entertainment, for which I am very grateful.
Love you.
We love you so much. Okay, wait, did you finish all your stories?
Yeah.
I finished all my stories.
Yeah, we got through the stories today.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Thank you so much for writing in, everyone. That was incredible. I am so sorry you went through that. Plastic room. I wish we could have seen pictures from the plastic room, but you wouldn't have a phone.
So that's how crazy radiation is. Is like, so she's taking these radiation pills, and it's so intense that they have to be like
isolated. I don't know if it was a girl or boy, but it had to be fucking isolated. That is so fucking scary.
How do we survive like
like microwaving yourself.
Literally, like microwaving yourself from like from the
I mean-
fucking inside out. How do we survive that?
I mean, you look at people like the chemo is like fighting the cancer, but it's also killing your body, which is why
That's
like
what
you
chemo
look
is,
so
right?
essentially.
Yeah, it kills like all the cells. So it kills
Everything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's why like your
you
hair starts
basically
falling out,
targeted-
your skin becomes translucent.
it kills like all new cells. So the cancer is like a new growth.
So it just goes in there and just rips everything.
Yeah,
to
all like
shreds.
rapidly generating cells, like hair, like skin, like like those are all rapidly generating cells.
So okay, I get when you have cancer and you have to shave your head,
It's because your hair is falling out.
your hair is falling out.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it's like coming out in clumps.
And is that a cause of the cancer or is that chemo that's doing that?
Chemo.
So if you weren't,
I feel like no, yeah,
That's the treatment. That's
Yeah.
because your hair is a rapidly generating cell. Like your hair cells are rapidly generating.
so if you weren't
cells.
getting treatment for cancer, would your hair fall out?
No.
No. Okay, so it's just the treatment that causes
Yeah.
the hair loss. Okay.
yeah.
I've always kind of been unclear on
All
that.
right, we do need to wrap it up.
Okay.
We're well over an hour and a half.
All right, love
Okay,
you
you
guys.
guys,
This is
thank
not
you.
the Joe Rogan experience, so sorry.
Yes. Oh my God, I'm about to sneeze. Okay, thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you guys so much for submitting your stories every single week. We love how fucking real you guys get and also how self-aware y'all are. Please subscribe to
love
our
you.
YouTube. Please subscribe to our YouTube. On Patreon, it's basically just more of this, you guys. But we do phone calls. You guys can leave us voicemails. FaceTime us. We have been loving the motherfucking FaceTimes. That is fucking juicy. You guys can submit topics to us.
We love your topic suggestions.
Yeah, we fucking love
Submit 'em.
them. And we're going to start doing more prank calls again. Yeah.
Send us numbers on Patreon. If you want us to prank phone call, give us dares. We love truth or dares.
And you can even be on FaceTime while we fucking prank call
Yeah,
your
you
ex
could.
or whatever.
Yeah, you could do that. We could
love
do that.
it. Love
I
it,
don't
love
even
it, love
block
it.
my number anymore, bitch. I just call on my real number. So I don't
Yeah.
really give a fuck. Maybe I shouldn't have admitted that. I don't care. And also, we are looking for an intern.
Well, we have a bunch of fucking emails we got to go through.
Oh, okay.
So many.
Amazing.
But yeah, if you want to intern for the show and help me, really, I would need help building and maintaining our website and handling some emails for me that
and maybe
basically
some light
just
graphic design.
great. Yeah, if you're a graphic designer specifically, that would be very helpful. But kind of just a middleman between me and some of the stuff that can't really get to right now.
And I have a bunch of emails to forward you. So I have seen your emails that have come in, and we'll send them to you right now.
Perfect.
Okay, amazing. Thank you guys so much. Love you.
Love you. Subscribe to Patreon. Bye.
Bye.